Welcome to this week's HACCP Mentor review. In this episode, we are going to check out some ideas for validating prerequisite programs and discuss if metal detectors are really essential in a food business. Each episode of HACCP Mentor review has an action item to help you keep on top of your HACCP requirements, so this week it'll be no different. Let's kick off this review with discussing the role of your food safety consultant. A question that I noted this week in one of the forums, somebody asked whether an external food safety consultant can represent their business during a certification audit. Now, if you engage a food safety consultant to advise on your HACCP plan and food safety system, please keep in mind that during any type of external third-party certification audit, they may not be allowed to answer questions directly on behalf of the business. During an audit, the auditor needs to be able to assess the knowledge and implementation competency of all food handlers and management. If you have a good food safety consultant, they should have trained you and advised your business adequately so employees can answer all questions as required by the auditor. Are metal detectors essential in a food business? Any type of metal contamination in your product is definitely a food safety issue, and I'm sure we can all agree on that. I have pretty strong views around this subject, mainly because I've observed so many metal detectors fail to detect metal that's been embedded in the product when tested during a certification audit. Any good metal control program first starts with prevention rather than detection. You need to stop the metal contamination from happening in the first place. My first step would be to implement a suitable preventative maintenance program and foreign matter prevention program. Both of these programs should have adequate monitoring to ensure that the programs are being successfully implemented by your business. To strengthen your program further, you can then look at detection and removal equipment, including magnets, metal detectors, sieves, visual, X-ray, etc. This week's action item is to go around and check that all of your bench scales are correctly levelled if you have them in your business. Unlevelled bench scales may give you an incorrect reading, which can be critical to the weights and measures of your product. For food recalls this week, there's been heaps of allergy alerts published by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency and the US FDA. There seems to be a run on undeclared sulfites and affects food products such as dried mushrooms, dried coconut, balsamic dressing, dried apple. You can check out other food recalls from the past week at www.foodproductrecalls.com. In this episode, I thought I would give you some ideas for validating prerequisite programs. The easiest place to find validation information to support control measures documented in your prerequisite programs is to check out food legislation applicable to your country of manufacture. Here are just a few to get you thinking or to give you a bit of guidance. For cleaning, ask your cleaning chemical supplier to provide scientific data to support that their chemicals will prevent, reduce, eliminate particular pathogens or microbes. For your metal detector, get advice and report from the metal detector supplier or manufacturer that the piece of equipment or machinery is going to perform a certain way, as in it will detect a certain type of metal, the size of the metal, the suitability of your product at different temperatures. For allergen cross-contact, research levels of allowable allergens in finished products. You can also use a system that is used in Australia called Vital. I'll leave a link in the show notes so you can go and check that out. For personal hygiene, regulatory requirements around good personal hygiene practices are a great source of validation for these. Approved suppliers, HACCP certificates issued by certified certification providers, normally JASANTS or equivalent accreditation bodies, laboratory results from suitably certified laboratories, for example NADA certified laboratories, and if they are also certified to undertake the particular testing that you're actually getting them to do. Calibration, reference calibration equipment, for example your scales that have been certified externally or from certified reference weights. And finally, for receival, Regulatory requirements around receiving potentially hazardous foods is a great place to start when validating temperatures around this issue. If you have other ideas for validating prerequisite programs, please just leave a comment below this review and we can share them with everyone. That's it for this week's review, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to send me an email through HACCP Mentor. Just click on the contact page to contact me directly, and I promise I will reply to you. Until next time, I'm Amanda Evans from HACCPmentor.com. See ya.